We are back with the final round of 16 match. It's number 8. It's going to be Sharp versus Motive. Sharp made it to the finals of ASL. The first time in a long time, whereas Motive, he had a disappointing appearance in the ASL. Let's take a look at our bracket to find out who's made it this far. JYJ, Barracks, Hero, Royal, Sock, Mini, and now Light. This is the last matchup of the round of 16. We desperately need another Protoss. But is Motive the one that's going to get past Sharp? Sharp is so good with the harassment, and actually a lot of games that I see Motive lose, it's because he gets out multitasked. Let's take a look at our maps. There's a Pantheon ban. Okay, finally that gets banned. That does leave Monty Hall in there though, and Sharp has done extremely well on Monty Hall. At least Motive gets the first pick, and I think he's picked the best map of them all, which is Dominator. And then he gets kickback for game 3. So if he can win Dominator and then win kickback, I think there's a good chance he can win one of the remaining 2. Let's get into game 1 though, between these 2. Okay, so in the top left, we do have Sharp. And in the bottom left, we do have Motive. And the last time we saw Motive on this map, well, it was a legendary game to say the least. Ends up going for the immediate scout back then. Finds him, but doesn't know that he found him, and then Proxy gates in the wrong base. One of the most brutal ways to lose I've kind of ever seen. It's not often that I feel bad for a player, but I legitimately felt really bad about that one. So hopefully we can see him show a good game here and get a little bit of redemption for his ASL performance. Now, is he a player that can go from one extreme to the next? I'm going to say yes. I would like to see the 12 Nexus here. But at the same time, also something like Zealot Pressure on low ground maps or mains can also be strong. Also, stuff like 10-15 can be strong on these maps. I know back in the years ago when Requiem was in the map pool, I found it near impossible to deal with Protoss that went 10-15. But is this a 12 Nexus? No. I'd hope for a second that it would be 12 Nexus, but ends up just being the gateway. And Sharp, okay, interesting Rax placement. I guess that lines up next to the mineral patch, and maybe Zealots can't fit through, but Marines can. I'm just, thinking out loud here why he would position it in that particular spot. And there is the 12 gas. Okay, so actually the mining was not that great for Sharp. He had like a 142 gas. If you guys go rewatch the series of Light versus YSC, almost every game was like a 136, 137 gas with a 12 gas. So like a 5-second delay of the factory is not the most ideal. Now luckily for Motive, he gets in here and we'll find him first. And we'll see that this was not any type of gasless expand or mega eco opener. Now despite the late gas, is he really going to still have his factory on time? Really looking for like a 230 factory. What? How did that happen? He's still got a 229 factory. How is that possible? Okay. Maybe I misread the timer somehow. I liked how Motive tried to kill that Marine. I think if it was a normal ladder player, he probably would have gotten it. But Motive did... No, I was going to say Motive did build a Zealot, but I don't think he did. He's got the Goon coming out pretty soon, like 15 seconds. More Marines being built. Actually, Sharp's going to have to build 4 Marines if he doesn't want to build a bunker. So, something to keep in mind. But Motive knowing that, maybe Sharp will do like an FD now that he's going to have to overbuild Marines. Well, I think he's going to... Okay, he didn't build a 4th Marine. I guess I'm just tripping right now. I still think that the Goon can win the battle. But I guess it is high ground, so it's, Goon will take a lot of pot shots for free before getting any damage done. And we do have Command Center coming down. Nexus coming down, so pretty much you know, identical openers, pretty much. First Vulture coming out. And it gets off a nice shot onto the shield. Now, the reason you want it to get shield damage is because it does full damage. So this has done basically maximum damage on that one single Vulture, already getting it down into the health portion of the Dragoon. And I thought I saw Robo go down. I think everything looks, yeah, Robo, like, kind of just started, so this looks like it was, like, the 4-minute Robo. And in Sharp's main, there's, I don't think that's a starport or anything at the corner. Yeah, it's just a depot. So everything so far looks like it's probably going to be something like Armory opener, like fast upgrades. Something got in. I think it was the SCV, but it gets taken down by a probe. Okay, second factory, that also makes sense. How's that possible? How does the Vulture just sit there, right out of vision? Oh, should die, right? Well, this is the most boring part of Terran versus Preuss, where both players don't have enough units to attack. Terran's, you know, just massing up, and there's no, like, nothing really to do for Preuss either, because they're waiting for Reaver, if he even goes Reaver. It is just Observer this time, at least for now. There's nothing here that signals to me like it's going to be anything wild. Like, I guess a 6-minute Nexus is kind of a little bit fast, but you know, it's not like he's gotten his Nat Gas already. It's not like he's put down a Citadel to build 2-base Arbiter. Everything so far, to me, looks pretty much standard. He is getting a little bit lucky with just like a 2-gate Observer opener, but you do have to consider it's Dominator, right, where you would be pushing into high ground. So I think this is an okay opener to go with. Like, it's probably very safe on this particular map. But if it was something like, you know, I don't know, Polypoid, maybe you would need to be a little bit more careful. Either way, Vulture's gonna come in here and see the Nexus and see that, hey, this is basically halfway down. Now, if he puts down a Nexus here, that would be crazy. But okay, it is just pylon to check for, you know, incoming drops, which we know is not coming. And I do want to point out that Motive was up 3 workers. Now he's down 3 workers. So he has cut for the 3rd Nexus. I don't really know what to think of that when I see it. It's like, well, you got the faster Nexus. Yes, you're going to have more mineral patches, but you also cut for it. So is that really worth? Not too sure. Another Vulture gets taken down. What is that, like the 2nd or the 3rd Vulture that's gotten taken down? He did know that the Nexus timing is really quick, so despite that, he does have tanks in his main. Okay, he's right. There is a Reaper coming. And it's actually coming, you know, pretty soon. There's 4 tanks in the main just waiting for the drop. Get that Vulture though, but I still think there's only 2 factories. Yeah, okay, now turrets are coming down. No turrets on the outskirts of the base. Okay, so this is what a lot of Terran players do when they realize that if you're gonna do a turret ring, you have to build, you know, like 6 of them, which is like a huge waste of resources. Instead, they just build 2 turrets in key locations, then set up tanks there. But it does leave you vulnerable to like shuttle counterattacks, like as you move out. So it's something that Sharp will have to keep in mind if he does make some type of timing. Flies are. Is it a 5-fact or is it a 6-fact? There's 5. Okay, armor. Okay, it looks like this is actually gonna be like a 1-1 timing or a very fast +1 timing. With 5, I guess he's got enough workers that it could be a 7-fact, like a 7-fact 1-1 or a 7-fact just +1. Motive actually, he's not mining his Nat Gas yet, so he still has a lot of resource or a lot of mineral income, but his Citadel's late, his Forge is late. If this is a timing, he's in trouble. He's in big time trouble. Oh no, Vulture gets in. That's 2 kills. He takes down the Zealot, and the Vulture is still racking up kills. 5 kills. 6. Devastating damage. And Motive, during all that, his money has shot up quite a bit. He needs 8 gates right now. He only has 4. So he's misstepping with his macro a little bit. And obviously he took a bit of damage to that one single Vulture. I'm worried that once there's 12 tanks, this is going to be an unstoppable army. Sharp is down 20 supply though, but 5-fact is definitely going to beat 4 gateways. That's 100% going to happen. So please put down some more gates pretty soon and get speed. Wow, that is a lot of turrets. Is that a double turret setup right there? I think it is. Okay, clearing out the... Oh, is he expanding? Is it just a 5-fact expand? I didn't see a starport, so I don't think it's like a 5-fact expand. Or, well, sorry. I forgot that the 1-1 style was pretty meta like a year ago. We get one of the Reavers, that's nice. Oh, was the SAV a bait? Like a fake out? No, there's okay, he's pushing and expanding. Also uphill. Oh no, the Reaver immediately died. Oh, and the Vultures just run in there and try and block off the goons that they can't. Okay. Oh, this is gonna get ugly. No, he's losing so many Dracoons. And his Zealot doesn't have food. He lost basically half his goons for free and he killed no tanks. At least he has another shuttle, but I don't think there's anything in it. Also, I don't even know if... Yeah, I was about to say, I don't even know if he killed all the Goliaths. The Goliath... Well, it looks like I guess he did kill all of the Goliaths, but he still has some anti-air, and this wasn't even a committed, like, 5-fact, 6-fact, 7-fact timing. Like, this is a... I'm going to attack while expanding at the same time, and if I win, great. If I don't, I'm just going to fall back. He just doesn't have the unit. Tank count is 2-2. This Expanser is done. You can go cancel there. A lot of work for. Funny enough, is I think that's the first tank, and the only reason it died is because the tank flashed himself. Another tank got killed. Yeah, what is it? Is it 2 goons? That it? Wow, he's desperately trying to get the mines, but he's just not able to do so. I think that actually connected also onto the Reaver. Well, that wasn't good. I feel like I'm just having like flashbacks to YSC versus Light where like nothing went well. He took a lot of damage to that single vulture that ran into the third base. He didn't get any damage done with his prop. When Terran moved out, Terran, cut off like every single goon almost. And also killed one of the Reavers basically immediately. Now Terran's like, I know he's not moving, but you know what I mean? He's like not sieging. And Preuss is getting home. Another shuttle dies, so that means that this Reaver... Oh, sorry, there is one more shuttle. I thought it was gone. So this Reaver's not useless yet, but... I mean, there isn't even that many tanks up here. I mean, it's 8, but is that a lot? I don't think so. Oh, no, he doesn't have any observers! Go one of the goons. Bleeds off some more zealots. There's no tanks, are there? There's a possibility that it can do something. No, I don't think so. Oh, Reaper. Hey, that's nice. Chain. Yes, he's losing his gateways, but I mean, it's getting kind of weird. It's still even supply. There's a decent amount of stuff here. Zealot Bomb, or Zealot Drag, I mean. Only 16 left though. But the Reaver on the top right side is doing kind of work. If he can get into the SCV line, that would be fantastic. Yes, Motive has lost some gateways, but he still has, I think, 5 or 6 remaining. So it's, no, not nothing. That's a lift off. Okay. Still no answer to all these things, though. I kind of wish Motive would just send everything. I think if he just sent everything and got into a base trade scenario, he might be able to win. There's a lot of goons here, and well, I guess the Reaver died, but there's like a lot of goons also at his rally point. He also has some DTs. He's forced the command center to lift off. Like if he, what is that? What? I was about to say if he could force off a lift off at the natural, you know, maybe the DTs could run rampant. But a Dark Archon, what am I looking at? That has to be a mistake. But what possible button would he have clicked to trigger the morph? Well, here he goes. Well, that DT got swallowed up real fast. There's nothing to support the goons either. Vultures are doing a lot of damage. Oh my gosh, another big neck in. That's, yeah, that right side army has been sitting there forever. I'm sure Sharp is like, what the hell is this? Why is there an Archon? Archon here? Shuttle? Oh. Again, it doesn't unload. Well, on the other side of the map, I can see Motive is trying to do something with those goons. But now, supplies are way too far in favor of Aaron. He's down 30 supply with also a 12 worker advantage. I mean, product, so, you know, it's actually like he's down almost 45 army supply. And there's the GG. So that means Sharp, he's going to go up 1-0. Yeah, unfortunately, that was Motive's map pick, so he's in trouble. All right, now we're going to be going into game 2, which is going to be Radeon. Let's just get straight into that one. Okay, so our Terran player in the top right, it's Sharp, and meanwhile, in the bottom left, we do have Motive. So if there's ever a time for the 12 Nexus, this is it, man. We've got the cross spawn. Potentially, we could get the Nexus first here. I know Radeon's actually one of the maps where I, in particular, run into Nexus first quite often. I think it's because rush distances are quite far. For whatever reason, I've noticed that on Radeon, I don't really scout people first as often. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my bad luck on this map, but we're sitting here praying for my boy Motive to get Nexus first off here, because I think he's going to need an advantage versus Sharp. Now Sharp, he did get the right side mineral boosting. I'm trying to think, is Sharp someone that I see go 11 gas often? I think I have seen him do that quite a bit, actually. So even if this ends up being Nexus first, if you can get that 11 gas off, quick factory, maybe he can get some damage done with his first Vulture. I don't think he's going to be pulling across the map. It would be too far, but... Oh, Motive! He queued up probes! There we go! So this is going to be big-time macro from him, and Sharp's going to be hating his life. They always get away with it when it's cross-spawn. Now, the real question is, how does Sharp respond? We know Sharp is great with the Vultures, but with the Nexus first, unless you're sending in your first Vulture, you know, future Vultures are not going to be really that strong. This is a map that I do like drops on, but by the time drops get out, I do think that Motive will most likely have a lot of Dragoons set up for defense. And Motive, to me, doesn't really seem like a very aggressive type of player. He seems kind of like, you know, most of the people here watching are maybe aware of the foreign players. He kind of reminds me of Dragon in the sense that he plays kind of passive-ish. And whenever I play Dragon, I just don't really have much success with drops because he just, you know, sits in his base quite often in the early stages of the game. So I think, like, drop follow-up isn't really going to do that much damage either. Now look at this. Motive went for cross spawn, and he's going to find Terran first, which is amazing. And actually, Terran's going gasless here. Okay. Well, I guess this is a pretty good opener for Sharp then if he's going to go gasless, but he did go depot. Oh, is he going to kill the probe? No. I don't think he is. He almost got that. Now, Protoss did see a second depot. You don't really build a second depot that often unless you're going gas. So you may think this is a gas opener, and unbeknownst to him, it's actually command center follow-up. And I wonder if Motive will, like, cut here, because he may be thinking he's going to be hit by, like, some type of timing once his Nexus gets scouted. But that's just not the case. No, never mind. What? He went one gate. I mean, it is cross spawn, but still. Well, I think drops are out of the question now. They would just be way too late. We do know that Sharp is the king of vultures. In fact, I think that's his nickname pretty much, like king of spider mines, something along those lines. And for now, he's not showing anything unusual. Okay, the fourth Marine is kind of unusual. And this SCV is going to be pushed out of the main. Ooh, probe. I thought it might actually get by, but it doesn't happen. There's the first factory. Now, I guess this isn't exactly the same, but last season when Sharp was playing Blitz and he got gas stolen, he ended up going for, you know, a fast command center in response. And then he followed up with, like, I think it was him that went 4 factory. I've seen a couple players go 3 factory. I wonder if that's going to be his play here. Get a lot of factories real quick. Try and flood vultures, maybe? Or will he just play the typical 2-fact tank vulture opener? Bunker. Everything so far looks actually pretty standard, I guess. We do have range coming in. There's Robo coming in. And Goon is going to push this SCV back. Now, because it's gasless, Sharp isn't really down that many workers. It's just 3. This is manageable for him. Oh, that SCV down at the corner. I thought he might go for a factor, a starport. But so far, it does look like it's just going to be normal. So probably 2 factory add-on double tank. Okay, he's getting his second gas somewhat quickly. This could be also like a fast armory with it. Okay, there's the second add-on. I mean, maybe he'll go like Mihu style, where Mihu builds like, you know, just non-stop mass tanks. And then he goes into a lot of vultures. That's Academy, I'm sure. Oh, it's an armory. I thought he might go Academy and get a scanner up, but there's the armory for the fast upgrades. And what's it going to be as a follow-up? I don't think he needs... I was going to say, I don't think he needs Observatory. Well, actually, he does, right? He never got into the natural except with the Goon, but the Goon was really late, so I'm not sure if he's actually able to read if this was gasless or not. So I think the Observatory is fine. Motive is going to put down his 3rd Nexus, but this is kind of a safe 3rd Nexus timing. What's it going to be, like 6 minutes or so off of a 12 Nexus? There's the Academy. It's at the top of the base. I was like, there's no way he just built an armory. Like, the most common follow-up is armory and Academy. And as expected, you know, I mentioned it at the beginning of the cast, Motive is just like a passive player. There's no shock to me that he's got Goons in his main waiting for a potential drop to come. And I think that might actually be a command center coming down for Sharp in a sec. No, that's a depot. Well, he's going to move out. It is cross spawn. He knew it was 12 Nexus. Can this work? It's only 3 tanks. 3 Marines, 3 tanks and vultures, 2 factory. mean, looking at what Motive has, Motive should not be able to hold this. And look at this. He avoids the observer by going around the left side. This is going to be really bad, actually. If he has siege mode, I think this is a dead base. This is 3 tanks. All of his units are in his main. I think Sharp is confused. Like, how did I get across the map this easily? It's 5. Is that 5 goons? Is that what I'm looking at? Okay, it's definitely not 5 goons. It's 8 goons plus a zealot. He doesn't have siege. Oh man, I guarantee you he wishes he had siege at this point. What? Huge mine connection. It's like 4 goons. 2 of them died. 3 are about to be, or 3, was it 2 or 3 died? There's another one extremely weak. Zealot dies also. And this attack that I thought was going to be denied by these 8 dragoons, well, he's still killing dragoons. And so far, he's only lost 1 tank and a couple of vultures. There's the siege mode. Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know if there's enough DPS to support the tank. Oh, okay. Well, there was some justice with that goon taking out both the tanks, but he really did lose more goons than I was anticipating. Now, behind this, look at worker counts. Both players have massive econ. Sharp has now ramped up his factory count to 6. Motive has big probe count. Also, I see vultures have run into Motive's main, by the way. And I'll just keep an eye. Okay, there we go. 1 probe, 2 probes, 3, 4, 5. Oh man, he's got vultures over here also. Oh, and that connected. Oh no, it didn't. But there's also vultures at the 3rd base. He's everywhere, man, with the vultures. Looks like they've shut down what, like 5 or 6 probes in total combined, something like that. Oh man, he needs to clear that. I can already see that being a catastrophe the later the game goes. Now 6 fact is a follow-up, and Protoss does not have an observer in the main. Am I seeing that correctly? So he doesn't know that this is just going to be, oh my gosh, is it carriers? He has 2 gateways. What? And now his scan goes off. I don't know what he scanned, but if he sees that it's a double gate carriers, he's going to go for sure and just put down like 2, maybe 1 more factory and just probably cancel his starport and all in. Well, Motive needs to get in the base and see how many factories this is. He's got 3 gateways and 1 Reaver. And now, okay, he has 2 Reavers, but still, unless these are snow Reavers, I can't imagine 3 gates being enough to keep this army back. Another scan goes off. He saw it. He saw it. Well, he's still going into his science facility. I think at this point, you know, he's already committed to the starport. He might as well go for the +2. I don't think he needs a second armory. Just get the science facility for +2. Like, yes, by the time +2 kicks in, there will be, I think, 6 carriers. But let's say the 6 fact fails. Like, it just doesn't win the game. At least he'll have something to fall back on. So I think this is okay. Also, he has a massive worker count. 56 workers on 2 bases. He'll be able to build maybe even 2 command centers at some point, like double expand as a follow-up. Okay, he's gone into a second army. I think second army is a mistake here. The reason I say that is this is 6 fact. This is going to be a lot of gas, and his tank count was low. So it's not like he can build tanks and Goliaths and get upgrades. Well, at least not double upgrades. I'm not too sure what to think about this second armory, but we'll see how it plays out. Of course, it's important in the grand scheme of things, you know, as we get into mid-game, but I just have a feeling that the game's decided on this one move out. Now, I did see a big Scarab shot go down, but another observer dies. And there's just not a lot of stuff here. It's 2 Reavers. Oh, is he looking away just for a second? And he takes 1 loss onto the Reavers. 130, or take it back, 140 to 149. This just is a massive army. I guess what is going for Motive is at least there's not much buildable terrain in the center of the map. And also on the left side. So if he can somehow stall, maybe get like the 2 or 3 carriers out, he can whittle down the Goliath count and the anti-air. but I just don't think that's going to happen. Sharp's moving so quickly. And this army's out in no man's land. Oh no, he doesn't even have speed on his zealot, so this is just dead supply. Keep for the supply as another zealot dies and another one. And if you take away the worker difference, it's pretty much dead even supply. 154 to 157 pretty much. Another round of dragoons are going to take some damage. These reavers are doing a good job in. This random movement from Motive is, you know, buying him time. Like, Terran's just going back and forth into sections of the map that don't matter, but the reavers and the shuttle are both going to die. At least the reavers got off some good shots onto the Goliath, I guess. And did buy time. Here we go. Oh no, no. Yeah, it looks like the Zealots just took hits. Yeah, but look at how puny this ground army is. It's so small he doesn't even attempt to engage because he can't. I think the best thing that Motive can do is try and cut off the rally. Another couple big scarab shots. Now, he does lose the Reavers, but he is softening up the Goliaths over and over. 2 cannons here buy some time. How many oh, it's 4 carriers. Okay, so these attacks really did buy a lot of time. The question is do the carriers have enough interceptors to kill the Goliaths? I actually think they do. I think Motive is going to hold this. Just +1 weapon on both sides. Oh, okay, +1 armor. Oh, wow. Did he buy that much time? That +1 armor is already done? That means +2 weapon should be done pretty soon. Once +2 weapon kicks in, it's a huge power spike. Oh, but the cliffs. The cliffs are so good versus Goliaths. There's only, what, is that right? There's 6 left? Okay, branch off of a couple things on the left side. Wow, those tons of goons are dying left and right. But the carriers are going to clean up all the Goliaths. This army's going to die. And all Protoss had to do was hold. He's got 4 carriers. He's cleaned up half of the army. He's up a base. Now, he may be taking probe losses at the left side, but that's okay, because Terran is still mega all in. I think just now he started his command center. So Sharp's going to, like, take his 3rd base as his main mine's out. Okay, so the left side lost all their probes. Now, that is a huge loss. But at least he will keep all 3 nexuses and be able to rebuild it quite quickly. In fact, he's got a 4th nexus coming up at bottom right. And if he can get that up and running, that'd be huge for him. But I think Motive has done what he needed to do, which is he survived. Now he's got carriers. Terran does have +2, and Terran is double expanding. So Protoss does need to do something about one of these bases. If he can get rid of, let's say, the 3rd base at mid-right, and then Terran's back down to just 2 bases, or soon to be 1, Protoss is going to be in a very favorable position. But I do notice now that Terran is up supply, but I think that's kind of fake news. Because I think the carrier count is going to be approaching 7 pretty soon. I can't imagine him not building carriers at this point. And the observer is going to spot this. Oh, no, he's not. I thought for sure he would check the top middle base and find out that there's a 4th command center coming up. Now, Terran does find the base at bottom right also. So he knows that this guy lost a lot of probes and he's taking bottom right. So he's spending a lot of resources to recover his econ. I wonder if Sharp will make another move out, trying to catch Motive, you know, in this in-between phase where he's trying to build up eco. But Sharp desperately needs to transfer some workers from his main, because you saw that 1 patch remaining. He's mined out in the main. I think that is 7 carriers. But it is +2 weapon Goliaths, which are very good. But 7 carriers, they're so ridiculous. Look how many Goliaths die? Is that like 5 or 6 now? So many interceptors here also. I mean, at least he's not fighting over a ledge, but it's still doing a lot of damage. Oh, Vulture! Oh, he desperately needed to get that pylon up, and he just barely gets it. Now, like I was saying, Protoss does need to do something about one of these bases, because 4 base, 4 gas Terran, even I think that it's pretty crazy how many expensive units they can build. They can build non-stop tanks, plus no, why? 1 gone? almost gets a second one. Okay, he still kept critical mass with this 7, but those 2 are extremely low. And bottom right, I just now realized, somehow got taken down. It looks like it wasn't even that many units. Maybe like 4 vultures and a tank. Okay, 3 vultures and 1 SCV. I guess an SCV is like a tank, right? I've heard they're super strong. Motive's not rebuilding his eco that well. The fact that he's not building more pros makes me think he's just all in 2-base. Gonna try and make a mega army and try and fight another carrier. The ground army is just pitiful. I don't even know if he has upgrades, but at least he's gonna kill this command center, which is great. It's gonna put Sharp back down to basically 1-base mining. So both players are essentially 1-base mining because of how fast they took their natural. Another carrier dies, but it still leaves him at the critical mass of 8. The goons are pretty much worthless. I'd like to see Motive take top left, put cannons up there and shield batteries, but you know, that's not going to happen. I don't think I've ever seen a pro use shield batteries for carriers. There's the +3 weapon power spike that Terran desperately wanted. Now Terran with the +3 is going to be hitting so hard, but the 8 carriers in the air, as long as he can see where Terran's army is, he can, you know, make backstab moves like this, like just run in here, snipe the command center, and then run away. This is Radion, where there's tons of dead space. Another Goliath gonna die. It needs to be careful to not overstay with the carriers. I think luckily for him, there's not, like, the entire Goliath army isn't here. I think there's a bunch of army in the center. Yeah, there it is. I'm like, there's no way he has 8 Goliaths. Look at the value he's getting out of these carriers. 8 carriers untouchable over the dead space. Lots of interceptors dying, but Motives has got enough money to replenish those, so that's fine. It looks like a small interception here. Goliath gonna die. I mean, both players' armies are strong for different reasons, but I just feel like the Goliath army is gonna run out of steam as he snipes 2 carriers. Fantastic, but no longer critical mass. Oh, never mind. He gets another carrier, 3 carriers. But now the goons are gonna be doing work as the carrier sniped all the tanks. Now all that's left are Goliaths, and supplies get reset for both sides. But I like the army better for Motive. And now I can see that his natural's mined out, and he's now transferring probes to top left. So he's going to have 4-base himself. Sharp got up bottom right, and he does have a higher work count. So his econ is crazy. But I have a feeling that these carriers might get over to the left side and kill at least one of the bases. Another carrier, maybe? Oh, he just GG's. Just like that, the carriers reign supreme. And that means that Motive, he's going to get a win here. So our next map, what's it going to be? I can't remember exactly what the map order is, but Motive getting a point there, that's great for him. You know, I was talking about how I felt like he needed to have build order advantage, and he definitely did. Now, going into Game 3, what does Sharp need to do? Does he need to play more aggressive in the early stages, like punish these types of greedy builds? I don't know, but our next map is going to be Kickback. So let's get into that one. Fighting once again with the cross pawn. We do have Motive in the bottom right. And in the top left, we do have Sharp. So Kickback, you know, I've talked about it many times. Timing attacks. Insanely strong for Terran on here. The triple command center, timing attack builds, amazingly strong. And I think this is another map that's going to favor Terran here, specifically Sharp, because we saw him get good value out of his small move out. He always gets value out of his vultures, and if he can get any type of value in transition into a big timing, I mean, I feel like it's going to be really hard for Protoss to stop. I don't think Motive will be able to go carriers like he did last time. Now look at this pylon position. It's literally basically the same thing that we saw on Radeon. So this is making me think that this could be another Nexus First opener. Meanwhile, no wall. I've seen a lot of Terran players go for the wall on this map. And Motive is going to queue up probes. No, it is going to be a gateway this time. What is going to be the follow-up? Okay, well, there's the answer. It's going to be gas. I thought we might have, like, Zealot pressure into Nexus. And this is an 11 gas. Okay. So 132 11 gas on a left side spawn. That's great boosting. So this is going to be an incredibly fast Vulture. If Motive had gone for Nexus first, he would have been in trouble. But now that he's open standard, there really shouldn't be too much of a threat for any type of timing. I think I've seen FD play on here more often than other maps. So I guess that's also a possibility for Sharps, considering he also built 4 Marines last game. You know, you just need to build a couple more to all of a sudden have a lot of firepower. Both players are going to get unlucky with their scouting. Sharp's going to probably find Motive last if he does the end scout. And Motive will at least get in here and see this fast factory timing, so he'll know that it was not command center first. Gasless, I mean. And Probit is going to get away with his life. I think we saw range in Moda's base, if I remembered correctly. One second. Cruiser, you should check Discord. You're not showing the resources. Well, I'll tell Cruiser after this game, I guess. So we're going to be up in the air about what the state is of both of these players. We do have a small move out here. And actually this goon, well, it's faster than the Marine, so he's not going to die, but it took a lot of damage surprisingly quickly. And we should have Robo follow-up. There's the Nexus. Yep, there's the Robo. So everything is very standard here. Like, nothing unusual going on for either side. I imagine that's for mines. I don't see any more Marines being built. So it's not going to be a time. Yeah, it's just going to be spider mines. So no timing here. That SCV is set up like he's going to build a second factory, but I feel like this is such a good map to just double expand. Why doesn't he try and build another command center? But instead he builds a second factory. This goon is very ambitious, trying to micro for his life. Gets a Marine kill. Well, actually, I guess the goons with the range is just going to kill everything. Okay, there's the tank. I was sitting here wondering, like, why is there no bunker? And there's the reason. Now, the goon got in and saw that there's a second factory. So there's no need for observatory anymore. I think you either go observatory with like 3 gates, or you just go Reaver. Okay, built an observatory, so hopefully it's a 3rd gate. And I've got my eyes locked on the mini-map in case I can see like any small building or large building. Like, is there going to be a starport put down? Obviously, that's a little bit too late for that, but also keeping my eye on the gas. If you remember last game, it was a gasless opener, and he took down his, I think he built his gas at his nat at 5 minutes. Now we're almost 6 minutes. There's no attempt to take the gas just yet. There's a few mines being set up. And Motive, despite seeing the second factory, he's setting up like he wants to build another Nexus. Okay, he just builds it even faster than last game. Alright, he does have 6 goons. The Observer is here, and the Terran somehow... Oh my gosh, Terran saw that the Observer went across the map, and he avoids detection. And now he's going to move in for a frontal assault. Moto's going to be so confused, like, dude, how did you get here? How did you get here this quickly? Is there... Oh, once again, he went mines and speed. There's no siege mode here. Like, he can kill a depot, or I don't know, a pylon. He's not gonna kill much else. I feel like this is an int, actually. Vulture gets into the natural. Will it get any kills? I mean, he got 1. What is Sharp doing? He's taking so much damage here. He's forced out Dragoons, but he's taking a lot of hits. By the way, his natural's still no gas. I'm confused. So there can't be upgrades. I mean, he must be saving that to double expand and then go into a triple gas build. Yeah, there's the command center. So he is going to follow up with, you know, big econ, but Motive's third Nexus is already done. There's no eBay. There's no armory. Okay, I mean, the armory just not started, but if this was like a Reaver follow-up, Aaron would already be dead. So Sharp got a little bit lucky. Meanwhile, Sharp doing what he always does, which is sharking around with his vultures, trying to get some kills. He sees that some of the Dragoons are out of position, so he's going to try and hit. But instead, he intercepts a probe going to build that that Nexus. Is he going to be able to get in here? Oh, Reaver. Oh, look at that denial. That was nice. That was really good. Now, I think this game actually Motive has the chance or the opportunity to actually go carriers. If I was him after easily shutting down the first attack and seeing that this guy took a third command center, I would be going Stargates. Like, what can he possibly have to attack you? Also, he's been building a lot of vultures here, so the tank count extremely low. I really do think now's the time to go carrier, but he goes Citadel. Okay. It's fine to go Citadel, but I really do think this was even better opportunity than Radeon. Armory's done. +1 on the way. Academy coming in. He wants to get a read on to what Protoss is doing. I think he'll be happy to know that Protoss ended up only going into gateways. This time around, that probe actually able to get to mid-right. Should be able to build a command center there. Why do I keep calling it a command center? Build a Nexus. Don't know third gas for Sharp. His worker count should be so high. Why does he not have his third gas? Yeah, there it is. Now we finally get the worker count and resources. And yeah, 56 SCVs. You can definitely afford the third gas. Is he just going to flood factories? Like, as much, get as many minerals as possible and go like 8-9 pack? Still doesn't know what Protoss is up to. Other than, of course, seeing the shuttle with speed. And once again, Motives is going to have big econ. He's got 66 probes. Going to go up to 70 in a second. Oh my gosh, another mine connection. Yeah, this is a factory flood. There's the 7th factory. Probably, I would bet he goes into 9. I think even the 8th, yeah, there's the 8th factory. I think it's going to be an 8 factory flood or 9. And this is going to be a lot of firepower, but Motive already has all of his gateways done. It's also just 2 gas. I still am so confused by the 2 gas. And the tank count is not going to be huge. There's no potential for, you know, something insane like quadruple add-on. I think he just now started his starboard. Yeah, that must be it right there. So it's not even going to be a 2-1 rush. It's going to be a 1-1 timing, which is fine, but still just doesn't make sense to me why he doesn't take his third gas. Well, first few Templars are out on the field. So there's going to be Gateway Man with Storm. Didn't see a Stargate. So I don't think Arbiters are on the field. I don't think you could be able to support Arbiter and Templar, but I could be wrong. Either way, Sharp's on the move with his tanks and vultures. He is down 25 supply, but about half of it is a worker gap. So he does have a strong army. Starport's done. Science facilities should be coming down in a second. And if he's not... Okay, he finally got his third base gas. I was going to say, if he doesn't have his third base gas, he can't possibly be going into, double upgrades. Whoa, what? More robos? I mean, they're fine, but do you need to go double robo versus this on this particular map? I think you can just try and starve Karen out. Don't really need to go double robo, but we'll see how he can use this. Vultures are laying mines everywhere, and Preuss is taking top right in a second. Not able to save the probe. It's a good effort. Oh, wow. I don't think that connected, but I could be wrong. Oh, wow. That is a lot of stuff, and Sharp is on the move. That just came out of nowhere. That's a really nice body block with the Vultures and Spider Mines to make sure that he gets maximum value. He loses 6 goons for what? A handful of Vultures? That is a lot of Zealots. But Zealots are not good versus this army, and actually Protoss may be under threat of losing mid-right. Luckily the Zealots at least have speed, so they can actually get on top of the army, but he's in big time trouble. Almost even supplies once you get rid of the worker difference. Terran should have +1 weapon, should have +1 armor pretty soon actually. Reavers. We got a couple kills. No! Loses that shuttle, loses that Reaver. Oh, he's gonna lose that Reaver too? Well, that was no bueno for Protoss. Aaron's army is right here. I do want to point out that there is something bottom left also, and there's obviously a command center at mid left. So whether this attack works or not, Sharp is going to have a 4th base coming up pretty soon. And looks like Protoss is just going to try and counter. But Sharp, he's already repositioned his units preemptively. And this really should do nothing. Yeah, this was a denial. This was great movement from Sharp. But Motive's still hanging on. But unfortunately for him, it's not like he has Stargates behind this where he's going carriers. It's just gateways with Robo. Terran's just really not very scared of this particular style. Good Storm. Once again, Motive's going to try and backstab. And Terran's already moving back into position. Ooh. These tanks are doing work. These Vultures are doing work. I don't think that this is going to work. Where's the Storm? Okay, there's one. Another Storm. It's not that many. Okay, that hit 4 tanks. Really nice. All that's left over are Vultures. You should be able to win this. That was a good attack. And at the same time, Sharp is attacking mid-right, but I'm not so sure. I don't think he got out of the econ just yet. Looks like the follow-up Dragoons are going to actually be able to deal with this. Vultures get into the mid-right base and will kill a lot of probes, but Motive already had so many probes that this doesn't really hurt him too much. Motive also has top right completed. He can just transfer up there. I see Sharp is taking mid left. So he's still going to be 4 base also. Vultures get a couple more probe kills, but it's still 63. And now there's a massive supply gap. 50 supply lead. Protoss desperately needs, or not Protoss, Terran desperately needs to intercept this probe transfer. If he can shut down like a full probe line, you know, I can see a world where he's back in this game, but he's just down so much. And this is a map that mines out their naturals really quickly, to the point that I imagine even though Sharp has his 4th base, he's going to be on 1 base mining, you know, somewhat soon. +2 is done. I guess +3 is on the way. I didn't actually catch a glimpse of the science facility timing, so I don't know if we're like, you know, 3 minutes away, like it just started, or if it's about to finish, because, you know, we can have games where +3 is as fast as, like, you know, 16 minutes, 15 minutes, something along those lines. So that is a lot of shuttles, and I didn't see that many Goliaths. But Terran supply has already shot up to almost max, 197 to 170. eBay's gonna die. Okay, don't want to lose whatever's in that shuttle, I guarantee you that. That's probably a storm shuttle. Oh, July spotted, July spotted, it's gone. Big loss there. More gateways at top right, so he's really ramping up the production. And Terran could go into more add-ons, actually. I see Motive has a ton of gas. Still am waiting for Stargates, but I think it's just more gateways in the bottom right. I think Sharp's win condition here is not to split the map. I think he's got to go for an attack that, like, just kills top right. I don't think win condition is counterattacking. He does have a strong army, though. +3 should be finishing pretty soon if it hasn't already. Once again, Motive just avoiding the army. Avoid, avoid, avoid is the game plan. And so far, he's avoided. Finds that opening up top. It looks like he's kind of wavering between what he wants to do. Now he's running in. But it's so hard to control mass shuttles in Storm. And just retreats into his siege position. But I've lost a lot here. And immediately counterattacking is Terran. The shuttles have not unloaded at all. What's he waiting for? Another shuttle. Oh, I thought it was going to die. Ends up barely surviving. Are we going to have an engagement, or are we just going to posture back and forth? It really seems like that's the play. I think Sharp has gotten to the position where he can expand at the center now. Okay, finally Motive's going to come in, but he only has 2 Templars now. There's not even that many Zealots. Okay, oh, it was a perfect EMP. He hits all the Templars. He just smashed the army. That was a massacre. So now, Sharp is going to cut off this base. This is going to be a lot of probe losses. And he killed all the shuttles, so these probes can't even escape anymore. There's what, like 16 probes here? Something insane? Look at Sharp's money, too. He's got massive amounts of money. He can build a ton of stuff. He's double extended at top, middle, and bottom left. This is an unstoppable tank army. As I say that, those tanks die at mid-right, so that base actually ends up being saved. But how do you kill the rest of this army? He's Storm. Storm, Storm, Storm. Does he not have energy? Well, oh, he gets both! Supplies have plummeted for Motive. Oh my gosh. Now Terran's on 6 bases. He's already transferred workers to top middle. Just needs to get it up to get some workers down to bottom left. Whatever is at bottom left for Motive, that's going to get taken down by just vultures. And mid-right's under threat at the same time. Like, that base is going to die. 3 bases are going to die in the blink of an eye. And we're probably going to see the GG any moment now. It's just too much of a supply lead. A Desperation Templar, but that Nexus is dead. Is he going to get every Nexus? Another good round of Storms, but I don't think it matters. Lagoons will spot these SCVs being transferred to this base, but Sharp still has mid left and top middle, and he's got a bunch of vultures going down the bottom left. I don't think this is going to matter. Another Templar dies. Vultures trying to scramble into position. I think that the Vultures will just beat this army. There's so many of them, and they have good upgrades. But I think that Motive will lose this army and just tap out. It doesn't... Yeah, I mean, look at the supply. It's 76. There we go, GG. Okay. So, that's game 3 down. And now, we're going to be going into game 4, which, if I remember correctly, is... No, it's Deja Vu. Okay, Deja Vu. So Deja Vu going to be our next map, and I really like Terran on this map, so let's get into game 4. Hey, once again with crosspawn, man, it just doesn't end. We've got Terran in the top right, and Protoss in the bottom left. And I think once again here, Motive, he needs to get an early game lead. So I'm hoping once again it's 12 Nexus. I think Sharp is doing real work with his like early game attacks. Like, he's getting so much value every single time he makes an attack, and especially the last attack where it really looked like Motive was hesitating when he wanted to go in with his shuttles. And of course the EMP was clutch, hitting every single Templar. That was crazy. And with the right side mineral boosting, I think Sharp can try the 11 gas again and try and punish a 12 Nexus. Island in the exact same position once again. I guess he just really likes this spot for whatever reason. It helps with the walling, of course, as you can put your cybernetics up there. Wall in, and pylons at the bottom side. Complete the wall and make sure that vultures don't harass. Okay, wait, okay, well. It's not like Motive can't win a straight up game versus Sharp, because he definitely can, but I prefer him trying to get greedy. Sharp, on the other hand, this is another forward rack. This looks like it could be another gasless play. Nope. He ends up going into the 11 gas once again. So we're really just waiting to see what follow-ups are going to be. You know, you have a lot of variety for both sides. I guess you technically could 2-fact, but everybody knows I don't even think that can ever win, really. Protoss can go range, can cancel range, can go fast robo if they want. I think if you don't get scouted, I think fast robo on one base is not the worst opener. It really catches Terran off guard. And obviously the Reaver has almost no counter when Terran players opt to go for, you know, fast Vulture expands, like, you know, Vulture first into mines. So since the meta is fast, you know, that type of style, I would love to see more players at least experiment with one base robo. I almost never see it. Motive, there we go, there's the gas. I was like, he's got the 150 gas, but he hasn't spent it yet, but there we go. So it is going to be range. We've seen a few players cancel, so I guess that's an option, but Motive to me doesn't strike me as like a tricky type of player. I know his ASL move versus Rush was very tricky, but other than that, I mean, he doesn't really strike me as someone that does ridiculous builds. So I don't think he's going to try and cancel this and then expand. Did he cancel? No, he didn't cancel. I was looking at the gas. I was like, the gas doesn't seem high enough for it to be a cancel. So it is just a really fast Nexus, 330 Nexus, off of, I think it was 2 goons. It was a no scout build also. So Motive does get lucky to find Terran at top right. Uh-oh. Look at Sharp. He's trying to catch that Dragoon. Ends up doing a lot of damage with the Marines. And SV comes in for a secondary scout to figure out what's going on. He doesn't see a second gate. I don't think he was in range of the Robo, but he may have seen it with his trailing vision. So everything to him looks pretty normal. Oh, it's a starport. Okay, finally we're going to get to see Sharp go for his patented Vulture drop play. We know he's the king of mines, and Vultures are really good in this map in particular since the mains are so huge. He's also got cross spawn, so he can go to bottom right, not really get detected, and then hook around towards mid left. Also, he could potentially just go to the left side and go straight directly over the natural into the main. I don't think Protoss is going to expand to mid left, for example, so that's also an option. And as I say that, Motive is sending a probe down to bottom middle, probably to just get vision right now with a pylon. Second gate. Okay, so this is just going to be what he's been doing basically all along. Okay, it was a goon, not a probe. Oh man, look at this. That was impressive focus fire, actually. With the unit being bugged out, when the Vultures glitched onto it, he's still able to take down the mine. But what I was going to say is it's still a 2-gate observer play like we've seen all day long. These Marines still being alive means that the Vultures still have a lot of power in their attacks, as the Vultures can shred through the shields really quickly, and then the Marines actually do all the DPS on the health. But drop should be out pretty soon. I see a bunch of Vultures moving over towards the left side, and they're ready. They just need that drop. Oh, and look at this. I love it. Sharp is making an attack at bottom middle to make it look like he's not going for a drop. But at the same time, Motive should know, dude, you're attacking with 3 Marines and 2 Vultures. That cannot possibly be your whole army. Where are the tanks at least? Shouldn't you at least have a tank? But Motive's falling for the bait. He's sent all of his units back down to bottom middle. He has no clue that there's 3 Vultures about to be in his main and natural. Now, out of all the times to back off, this is not the time. Sharp needed to go in. Vultures trying to run in. Okay, there's one. One unloads. Okay, Vultures into the main. I thought he was going to go behind the minerals. Well, this was so far pretty good defense for Motive. And I guess his natural isn't mining, but he hasn't taken that many pro losses. What is it? 3? Actually, he took quite a bit of probe losses. I think he also cut at the same time. So it's an 8 worker differential. I am not sure if Sharp realizes he got that many kills, but he's going to go into a 4th fact. He skipped armory for all this. So he's going to go into a late armory. He has late natural gas. This could be another 5 or 6 fact. Maybe this time just with +1 weapon. And look at the probe count. I mean, it's very, very tiny in the main. Luckily, he's transferring those workers back to the main. That way he's not oversaturated at the natural. So nothing to intercept there. I thought Sharp had found a good attack moment, but only gets 1 probe. But at least he does confirm that it is a 3rd Nexus. A Vulture drop into the natural? Well, okay. I mean, Sharp did get a lot of kills with his vultures initially, but now he's throwing a lot of stuff away. That was 4 vultures to lose, plus the dropship, and Protoss has a 3rd Nexus. So at this point, do you just try and expand yourself? I don't think he's going to be able to make a timing work anymore. What is that? He canceled whatever that was and builds a depot in its place. I guess it could have been the science facility because BS is depot, VS is science facility. It looks like an eBay, but I have a feeling he may have misclicked the V and the B on the keyboard. And I think Sharp is just going to expand. I think if he was going to do a timing, he would have put down his factories by now. The fact that he's still only on 4 leads me to believe that he's probably just going to take top middle. I see something going out there. If he builds it on location, though, that would be a little bit ambitious. Hopefully, if he's building something up there, hopefully it's just a turret. But he's saving resources. Wow, he did build an on-location command center after losing all those vultures and dropship. Now, Motive doesn't know about this, so at least that's a good thing. Sharp won't be punished. At least not just yet. And once again, there's the Templar Archive. I think we're going to see the same thing we saw in Kickback, which is just going to be Mass Gates with Storm. It's so surprising that these pros are getting away with such late turrets. I guess Motive is just known to not play DTs, because if this had been a DT game, literally Sharp would have just died. Like, he didn't use any of the vultures mines that got into the drops to defend his base. He only set up a few outside of Motive's base, and he didn't lay any mines in his natural or main, and he had no eBay or academy. So if I was Motive watching like the past few games, noticing how late these eBays are and academies are, I would really consider going DT in Game 5. Maybe not necessarily one base DT, but like DT drop, because what's there going to be for anti-air? There's no turret. There's no Goliath, because often these games have had late armories. I really think DT drop is the play in Game 5. Either way, though, Terran now has the 3rd base up and running. Still waiting for that factory flood. There's the science facility. So it is going to be 2-1 again. Alright, what's in these shuttles? I know it's 4 Zealots. Was it double Reaver? I guess it could be Storm. We're 11:30 into the game. But yeah, the Rax is here and spots it. Motive taking his 4th base at mid-left. I do see all those gateways did end up going up, so it is going to be Gateway Man with Storm, like I was saying. There's no additional probes out in the map, except for maybe top left. Okay, it's 10 gate. Yeah, it is a probe up there, so he's going to put down a 5th Nexus. And this Vulture's going to get in and probably kill the probe, but it's not a big loss. Once again, both players have crazy econs. 70 workers for Protoss, just a ridiculous amount for Terran too. 65. Yeah, he's going to go into a lot of factories here. 8. I think he could even go into 9 or 10. I like how he's built a 3rd add-on. He's going to build a lot of tanks. He's obviously doing that because he has the free gases. But once he gets onto high ground, he'll be able to take that right, go into potentially 4 or 5 gas if he wants. It looks like Vultures intercept. Yep, they intercept these probes at mid-left. He's going to get 4, 5, or maybe something like that. I didn't even see how those probes or those vultures got onto the map. Here we go. Triple shuttle. Probably Zealot's going to be leading the charge. Yep, Zealot's lead with Storm. All right, that's nice. Good Storm. Right into the main. It's in the main. Reaver. Yep, Reaver. Oh, great shot. Interception. Oh, fantastic. From 66 workers down to 50. Reaver's still alive. Oh, all those SCs over there are pumped up. He wants it. Ends up losing the shuttle, but that was really good value. Another Storm. Oh, looks like he just doesn't barely have the energy. Oh, he does. Oh! It's like he just barely misclicked, getting like every single SCV, but that was really worth. Kills so much there. Loses a lot, but kills so much too. And once he maxes out, I think he should consider just trying to barrel in and go for the victory. It would be hilarious if that shuttle has one more Templar in there, because it's still alive. Shuttle, I mean. Sharper's just going to counter. I actually think this is his only opportunity in this game, is to just counter. He's got a good tank count. He didn't lose very much. Well, as I say that, is it really this low? It can't possibly be this low. He just gifted 5 tanks for free. Well, that should trigger motive to just kill him. If I saw a guy make a move out with just that amount of stuff, I would assume he doesn't have anything behind it. Start trying to just buy time. Yeah, just attack him, man. There's no way he doesn't have, or there's no way he has that much stuff. Here we go. Really big shots onto the Dragoons. Great Storm hits 5 tanks. And all of these units are going to fall down. Terran is going to be reset. Those are just huge hits onto the Dragoons. But again, Protoss is just on massive econ, whereas Terran isn't. Really good Storms. Ends up killing the majority of the Ultras, and 2 Zealots end up remaining overall. A good swing in supply for both sides, but still like Lotus position quite a bit. Terran's gonna try and attack top left. You know, he lost way too many tanks. I really don't think he can make this work, but he's desperate. He sees the writing on the wall, like down 2 bases, losing all of his tanks. He knows it's gonna take him too long to rebuild up, so he might as well try and make an attack work. He kills a lot of Dragoons with just Vultures, essentially. Well, if Motive doesn't save top left and instead just counters, I think this could be a mistake, because there's a lot of defense at top middle, isn't there? Yeah, depot wall. Well, he needs to get into siege mode. There's a few mines. I think this is a rip. Well, never mind, maybe it's not. The tanks are going to die to a single storm. But yeah, if there was like even just one more tank or something up here, shut down this base completely, Protoss may have thrown the game. That was a good save on the probes, loading up into the shuttle to at least keep all those alive. But Sharp has recovered his econ. He's got 60 workers. Just needs to get a command center down to mid-right. I see... Okay, those are not Vultures. Thought that there was going to be like an attack at his left, but not the case. And for now, Sharp is going to just barely survive with all these Vultures and mines on the map, and him just running around trying to buy time. The Vulture run by us and kill some probes, and once again buy him time as Sharp slowly closes the supply lead. But once again, Motive is going to be maxed, and I'm really just waiting for him to just go for it. Some of these Protoss games that I watch, it's just like, dude, you're maxed, just go. You've dealt so much damage, but they just dilly-dally in the center of the map, like what we're doing here. Is like just go. You killed so many tanks. You've got 6 bases. Even if you mess up your attack, Terran's still only going to be 1 base mining versus your 6. a good Goliath interception. Forces one of them to unload. I mean, look at the tank count at the third base. It's 3. Yes, there's a depot wall. But, oh my gosh, these vultures. He's just so good with them. And these tanks are out of position. This is, oh, it's on top of the tank. D-Matrix, this has got to be it, right? I can't see how Protoss would not win. Oh, never mind. D-Matrix pretty good, especially with so many tanks. Why is Protoss' army so small? Oh, it's because he didn't send his units from his rally point. If we look at the mini-map rally point, there's a bunch of stuff there. I mean, we're not going to get a look at it, but you guys can see on the mini-map that, I mean, there's a big blob, and it's like, that's Templars. What is going on? He's got enough Templars. Build units. Terran's going to stall this game out. Terran's about to land his command center at mid-right. He's got a good tank count now. The D-Matrix saved a lot of his units. And now it's going to be 4 base versus 6. Terran's still obviously down, but it's high ground. It's deja vu. You're not attacking into it. He can also wall off the bridge. I mean, these vultures are crazy. He always gets so many mines down and, like, gets so much value out of them. Like, I realize he didn't kill much there, but, like, they did damage. They still got rid of the shields and the health on a couple of those zealots. Motive gonna do a drop at the same time as this attack. Was that an EMP? Oh, he does land EMP, and he saves some of the SCVs as the focus fire was pretty clutch also. Now, he is gonna lose a couple of tanks here, but that was a really nice move. I see it bottom right. Motive is starting to take that side of the map. I was about to say he should take that because Terran is just camping so long, and when he does make moves, it's low tank count, high vultures, which really doesn't do a lot of damage to the building. I like that he's trying to take bottom right. I do not like the comp for Motive. He has so many Templars, and really not a lot of support. Now this shuttle bomb is going to be good. Well, I thought it was as he loses. Oh, it was definitely worse. He does a lot of damage to the tanks, but he did lose a decent amount of supply. But it is 180 to 140 now. How many Templars? Oh, EMP! He hits like 4 out of the 6. And that means that he hits basically every Templar except for 1. That means that this attack is going to be denied once again by just tanks and EMP. Well, this is a real army from Sharp. After getting so many good trades, he actually has a sizable amount of supply. Oh my gosh, he caught some of the tanks out of position. Templar? Okay, well there's good D-Matrix. Templars with a storm at the top side. Yes, it's a lot of tanks. That Templar gets a good storm in the middle. The +3 weapon for Terran is so strong though, but Protoss has +3 weapon themselves. It looks like just barely Protoss is going to win this fight. Just barely. Vultures try and run in to save the day, but Terran's going to lose his army once again. Protoss does lose his army too, but you know, he's perma-max. He's at 170 already. Good focus fire onto the Templar. Get both of them. Yeah, I think I'm not sure if at this point Terran can ever recover. There's just too much eco gap. There's too many losses to the storm. It's only 50 SCVs now. The tank count has been reset once again. Good interception there to get rid of the probe. And these vultures may be able to kill the dragoons, but with shuttles coming over once again, well, never mind. Yeah, all the goons will die. Storm. Yeah, that's a good storm. Zealot finish the job. Yes, that's nice. And probe does make it down to bottom right, and we can see the worker count now 41. Terran can't sustain their production now on this worker count. So Motive, he's primed to take this game. Just really waiting for maybe one more smashing of the army. And probably going to see the tap out. It looks like this might be it. There's not that many Dragoons. A lot of Zealots. The Vultures are in a really good position. Good Storm. And he ends up slamming it. Now it's sub 100 supply for Terran. 160 for Protoss. We're really just waiting for the GG at this point. I think that could be the GG scan. Like it's 3 tanks, man. The guy has 20 gateways. And you have 79 supply. I don't think this is it. This is how we win. There we go. You knew it was coming as tapped out, and that does bring us to game 5. And Motive is really bringing it to Sharp. I was talking about it in the beginning. I knew Motive was a good PvTer, and he's showing it right here. There are some moments where I'm like, I think you can end the game, but he kind of struggles to close it out. But he'll have his opportunity here in game 5 on Monty Hall. And in the top left, we do have Motive, whereas in the bottom right, we do have Sharp. Now, I know Sharp in particular is really good at this map. His multitask is just so good with the Vultures that this is really his map. So Motive, I don't think he can play Standard here. If he plays Standard, I think he's in massive trouble. I think he needs to do something ballsy, like the Radeon game where he went Stargates when the guy already had 6 factories building. I think you really gotta try and catch him off guard here. Maybe play defensive with the goons in the beginning and then go carriers. But if he plays the Robo style, even though I think in general that's a good style, I think versus Sharp in particular, I'm not too sure about that. And I wonder if anybody will Command Center or Nexus first. You gotta be lucky if you go for that. And Motive is queuing up workers. So he is planning to go for the Nexus first. The question is what lane is it going to be? Always a coin flip. And Sharp, I think he's not going Command Center first. Yep, there's the barracks. Okay, so if he can guess correctly, he'll be able to push. And it's going to be another 11 gas. Uh-oh. Motive may already be in trouble. Gonna hop that probe over. And there it goes. And there's going to be the 12 Nexus. Okay, everything looks pretty much as expected. And he's going to most likely hop that probe back over. Or mine it out. And look at this, Sharp actually went the wrong way as he's going to mine out the patch at the bottom left and not see the Nexus. So that's actually now a good situation for Motive. I wonder if Sharp will just use this for scouting and then like, oh, you're not here? Okay, I'll start mining out the top side. I remember on Radeon, Motive ended up going into 1 gate. And he got kind of lucky that it was cross-spawn there. He goes 1 gate here, and it's an SCV pull. You know, there's not a lot of room to get through those minerals that he's probably going to only have mined out 1 mineral patch. Like, it could get ugly real quick. So, even though this is a semi-island map, I do hope that he does go double gate. SCV does not get pushed through. Wonder why Terran didn't open up the mineral patch at top right. as soon as he saw that there was a probe with minerals mined. He's going to come in here and see that it's just one gate. Cybernetics hasn't finished yet. I mean, it can only have been a 12 Nexus. There's the second gate. And I still don't think there's any mining of the top patches. Vulture. Okay, but how's he going to get the vultures? Oh, he's going to... Okay, there we go. He's just going to he's going to do a non-committal here. He's going to try and push the vulture through the mineral line. And he does. He gets it through on the first try. He could rack up a lot of kills here. The SCV is still in the main running around. So the SCV is buying a lot of time and drawing a lot of attention here. Oh, yeah, he's going to kill so much. He's going to kill so much. There's no Zealot, no Goon. Goon is probably still like at least 5 seconds away. Here goes one. Oh, he misfired a little bit. 2, 3. Oh no. 4. Despite the 4 kills, he's still up 2 workers, but that's not what Motive was looking for. And it is just going to be mines as the follow-up. Is this going to be another command center? Sharp is acting like he's going to build another command center. He's got almost 400 minerals. Yeah, wow. It is a double expand. Okay. He saw in the main that the guy went 2 gate, and he saw that there was no robo, so he's playing exceptionally greedy here. He's going to open up bottom left. He's going to mine out probably the mineral and the mid minerals too. So he's going to have a double expand. Protoss hasn't scouted at all. He has no idea what the follow-up is. And Sharp is just going to have massive econ. Protoss needs to figure out what this is real fast. And needs to punish it with like a Reaver. Still 1 factory. Is that an armory? Oh my gosh, 1 factory, armory, double expand. Ridiculous. I think he's going to go into a fast 4-fact follow-up because you're going to have so much econ. You know, so many minerals. You'll probably be able to afford all that, but this is just like so insane. Like, once again, DTs would have won the game if he could have somehow gotten a DT through the bottom side of the map. It's going to be Observer again. Yeah, it's 2-gate Observer. Wow. Sharp is getting away with absolute murder here. I don't think there's really any way Motive can punish it. Motive has taken his nat gas already. You know, this could be a carrier follow-up. There's a second factory. He desperately needs to get more factories than this. That's for sure. I see the 3rd and 4th gate. So the 3rd and 4th gate confirm that this is not going to be carriers. At least not 2-base carriers. And that command center is going to be placed at the natural or mid lane in just a second. There we go. It's about to land. And now Terran will have 3 base, 3 gas. Worker count is... I feel like it's kind of low. Maybe I'm misreading the situation here. eBay coming in, so at least this time his eBay will help considerably. But yeah, Terran's gonna have siege and mines and range and Goliath all pretty soon, and with all these bases. What I like about the mid base also is you can like put up a building wall, so it's gonna be like near impossible to attack into. I don't think there's really anything Protoss can do about it. He's building his Nexus when the command center's landed. This is so bad for Protoss. And the Observer doesn't see anything yet. He scouts the top base. He's like, oh, there's no additional base here. Great, fantastic. He still doesn't know about the mid. Well, if you're Motive here, okay, I was about to say, well, if you're Motive here, what can you really do? He's going to go into Stargate, and it looks like he is going to go carriers, but his carriers are so late, or are going to be so late. It's a Terran that already has 3 bases. Terran's going to go from having a low factory count to 8 factories in a heartbeat. So, you know, I really didn't even like the carriers on Radion. It ended up working, but I can't imagine it being successful here. There's just going to be so much production. And Terran also rushed the armory too, so they're going to have +2 at a good time also. Like, all these lanes are just so hard to attack into as Protoss. Like, you really feel like the only option is to go carriers, but he took so much damage to that single Vulture that I just don't see how he doesn't outright die. There's the Fleet Beacon, there's the second Stargate. But as soon as Sharp scans this, it's going to be go time. There's the 5th and 6th factory, and that's before carriers have even started. There's the scan. This is so bad. And I see immediately another factory goes down in the main. So he must have scanned the carriers. Well, maybe not, because he didn't put down his third base gas. Like, he's still just mining mineral patches. Is he really going to take another command center? Another scan goes down. Not sure. I guess he was scanning observers. Okay, so he got rid of that. It's 7 fact right now. Motive trying to take top right. I think that's a smart move. Even if Terran can kill top right, it forces, you know, a lot of multitask and effort to kill that top right base. Also have to have a starport, obviously, which I don't think Sharp does. I don't know about this. This is a tiny choke. Okay, well, there's only 2 tanks. Was it really just 2 tanks? SCVs are buying so much time. Reaver. Yep, just too hard to attack into. Sharp's going to easily clean this up. And that means that Motive's going to need to just turn around. Supplies are getting close. It's 106 to 90. 7 factories for Terran. Econ is pretty similar, 55 to 53 workers. Well, this is kind of annoying, killing those depots, but nothing that Sharp doesn't know how to handle. Oh, is he going straight through the center? He is. Oh, he's pushing, and he's pulling a lot of SCVs. Okay. So he's going to push through the center with Goliath, with turret support, and that's his win condition here. He knows that the carriers are on the way. Ooh, Reaver buys time. That's great. Wow, the SCV body blocked for the other SCV and ends up not dying. Oh, he built the gas so he can mine it out quicker. Oh, this is so annoying. Protoss is in such deep trouble. Like, he's technically up supply, but he only has 4 Reavers. He only has 2 carriers right now. There's just not enough interceptors, man. It's also Monty Hall where you can have the buildable terrain. This is like just an impossible situation for Motive. So many tanks also. Like, anything that comes in is going to get blown out of the water instantly. So many Goliaths. What is it? 7? I think it's 7 fact, right? Maybe 8. The Goliaths should have +1, which are not the strongest, but doesn't matter. They still... Oh, wow, he has 1-1. They still hit really hard, and they're also tanky, too, with the +1 armor. And I think Protoss only has +1 weapon, not even armor. Oh, that Reaver got blown up. Got blown up real quick. I don't think he... Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think he has speed. Speed on the Zealots. He's going to have to go in, but he doesn't want to. That's about as good of an engagement as Protoss can get. At least the Goliaths are out in front where the Reavers can start shelling out some damage. Took down half of the Goliaths. Okay, that's a start. There's not that much anti-air left over, but there's also not that many carriers. What does he have, like 5 interceptors? Oh, the Goliath. Carriers. Oh, he's got 5 carriers now, but they don't have any Goliaths. He just have any interceptors. He's just got to buy time. Reavers. Why aren't they firing? Oh, another Reaver dies. No, the carry. What's he doing? Like a move command. Loses 1. Puts him back down to 5 carriers. Really need to get into 6. He's just taking so much damage. He's just not able to get the interceptor count high enough to engage. And Terran is just relentless with the non-stop reinforcements. Another base for Terran. He's desperately trying to hang on with these carriers and Reaver, but I don't see the interceptors being enough. Yeah, he has almost no interceptors left. And now, for sure, the Goliaths have critical mass. The tanks are now moving over towards the right side. So he's going to start taking down Nexuses. Oh, he just jumps on top of a couple carriers. One of them, that Reaver, doing work to the Goliath count, but he can't do it by himself. Oh, there's so many probes here too. He's gonna go down to so few workers. Oh, the carriers are just cornered, man. That's gonna be another carrier dying. Almost, and he just taps out. GG. 3-2 for Sharp. This was a good series, though. A lot of the games were close, right? And I came into Monty Hall saying Motive needs to do something crazy because if you just play standard, you're gonna lose. He ended up trying to go carriers like I suggested it, but the Vulture just did too much damage. It was too late. And he's not able to take the victory. So let's take a look at our results so far. We do have JYJ versus Barracks in the top side, so a Terran versus Terran. Then we have a Terran versus Zerg, Hero versus Royal, Terran versus Protoss in the bottom side of the bracket, and then also Light versus Sharp in the bottom side. This is an exciting round of 8. Because JYJ and Barracks are also very good. They also do really good timings, especially in TVT. Hero versus Royal, interesting because I think for both players, this is their weakest matchup. Sock versus Mini. Sock beat Mini in ASL on Retro a couple seasons ago. And then Light versus Sharp. Both of these players are experts at Terran versus Terran. I legitimately think every single player has a chance to make it into the round of 4. And I think if Sock wins versus Mini and he can get Terran for the rest of the way, I think there's a really high chance he wins the whole thing. That's my dark horse for the round of 8. So that is it today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the content brought to you by StarCastTV, definitely consider becoming a Patreon supporter. It does help the channel out quite a bit. But if you're not able to do so, just slam that like button. Slam that subscribe button on YouTube. It really does help us out, and it helps the algorithm. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the round of 8.